Solo is out, it's time to talk about Solo, and this is my spoilers review for Solo. We're going to talk everything there is to spoil about Solo, a Star Wars story. If you haven't seen the movie, I have a spoilers-free review for you to enjoy. So go there, check it out, check out the movie, and then come back to this one. And on Sunday, we will have our live spoilers Solo Q&A, so come back for that as well. Can't wait to discuss with you. And now, let's get into it. Despite having some key points that are worth discussing in a spoilers review, there's not much to spoil about Solo as a whole. I mean, you got Tobias Beckett, he's dead, but Han shot first. See what they did there? I actually really like it. And I like the swerves that Beckett offered throughout the film. I mean, it was completely predictable that he was the one who betrayed Han once he said, "Trust that everybody will betray you, and otherwise you'll never be disappointed, kid." And then he shows up at Voss's palace at the end and he has betrayed Han, but I mean, it would have been predictable either way. What was really enjoyable about Beckett was that he was a veteran about basically everything, about betrayal, about going on missions, about stealing stuff. He was basically what Han will become one day, and we know it will. So it made sense for having this character. And Woody Harrelson plays him with such charm, like he plays everything, that I enjoyed every single second he was on screen. And I mentioned in my spoilers-free review I was underwhelmed about the decisions made for certain characters, and one of them was this guy. Just as I was starting to enjoy him and his interactions with Han and Chewie as they are around the fireplace, he then dies. He's dead. Gone. In like half an hour. And when I was starting to enjoy and see the humanity in characters like Beckett and Rio and Val and see that they have an interracial relationship in Star Wars, which is great, 5 minutes later, she's dead too. They were killed by that guy over there, Enfys Nest. And let's talk about the reveal of Enfys Nest. It's a random girl. There's so much suspense in that scene, there's such a build in that scene, and then it's a random girl. At first I thought, oh, is she gonna be Val and Tobias Beckett's daughter for some reason that he doesn't know about? No, it's just a girl. And yeah, we would kind of be going back, oh, this is that person's daughter and whatnot. But in here it makes sense if you make a suspense and a build for a reveal of someone behind a mask. It's gotta be someone you know, something you have seen before, someone you have heard of before. And this was just some random girl who was part of the rebellion that was building at this point. And yeah, I don't care if this girl had good intentions, I don't care if she's on what we know to be the good side of things. She still killed Rio, and she still made Val see herself forced to commit suicide for the mission. This girl right here is an asshole. I don't care what side she is on, her actions in this film are completely evil. And she's evil in this film. That was really an example of bad writing. But you know, someone I'm happy is dead? This right here. I was so happy to see her die. I was so tired of this character. Every single second she had on screen was irritating and unnerving, and it had no purpose. She was here because we had to have a droid. And look, I love my droids. Have a droid every single Star Wars movie, but have a purpose for the droid. Have a reason. And I've seen people compare her to K2SO. No sir, absolutely not. Not even close. There's like 3 football fields of distance from these two. But let's go back into the story. Let me say that right at the beginning, since I talked about a very good example of bad writing, when Han is enlisting in the Empire and he says, "My name is Han," and you have this Imperial soldier saying, "Han what? Oh, I don't have a people. I'm alone." Huh, Han Solo. Haha, see what I did there, kiddo? At one point I was expecting this guy to take a mask off and be goofy underneath and see, haha, I give you your name, Han Solo, haha. But yeah, then he meets Chewie and I love the reunion. I love how they fight each other, and then Han is speaking Tree-Wook all of a sudden and he learns throughout the film. I love the train heist. I'm sorry that was at the beginning. I didn't feel like I had seen anything from the trailers, but once the train heist started in this film, I was like, oh, I watched too much of the trailers, didn't I? And yeah, I did watch too much. But the trailers lied really well. They did some very good misdirect. But let's get to the castle run. I see many people complaining about how castle took a long time to get through. I loved every portion of this. I love the infiltration of the base. I love the liberation of the Wookiees. Chewbacca was a savage in that sequence. I love the people escaping from there. I love that L3 dies in that sequence. I love how much hard work it took for them to get this situation and every step and every level of this situation resolved. This is the Castle Run. This is a legend we have heard of for years. If it had been a 5-10 minute sequence, I would have thought it wasn't worth it. It just wouldn't have been. I'm sorry. But I love the Sabacc game at first with Han and Lando and Han dominating, but I just knew that Lando was going to cheat his way out to keep his Falcon. And then at the end, Han goes back and he takes the card out and then he wins a Falcon. And we see that it's already modified at the last shot as he and Chewie go to Tatooine to meet a big shot gangster that we know to be Jabba the Hutt. But yeah, let's talk about Qi'ra, who is the most nuanced character and writing in this film as a whole. She never seemed to be on one side. I never felt right that she was on Han's side. It never felt right that she was on Voss's side. I always saw that she had something else at play. I was just never sure what, and I was really happy that I didn't. I thought they played that really well, and I love the sparks between Qi'ra and Han, and I love what she does at the end, just when we think she's going to be on Han's side ultimately, because when she attacked Han and took a sword to his chest, I knew she was going to be on his side. But after that, I was really not sure where they were going, and then they reveal it. They reveal Darth Maul. The hologram shows up, he has a hood, and I'm like, that's not the Emperor, he doesn't have robotic legs. Is that Vader? Because he would be full on Vader at this point. Then he starts talking, I'm like, who is this? And it was Ray Park. Ray Park did the voice, because I'm sure that wasn't Sam Witwer, because I watched Clone Wars, I watched Rebels, that did not sound Sam Witwer, unless Sam Witwer did an entirely different voice for this part. I don't know, he has voiced Darth Maul before, but in here sound completely different. And yeah, it makes sense, because in between Clone Wars and in between Rebels, Darth Maul goes to Dathomir, and he even says to Qi'ra, meet me and Dathomir, we're going to be working pretty close from now on. And so she is going there with a big ass casino ship. And we know Darth Maul is a big shot gangster. He is running the crime syndicates. We have heard of Black Sun. We have heard of Crimson Dawn here and there, but I just thought they could have used Black Sun in this film. But this moment of Darth Maul honestly made every shortcoming of this film worth it. Made the price of admission alone worth it. I didn't want a Solo movie. I don't necessarily want a Solo 2. If they don't do it, I can give less of a shit. But I think they should do it, given what they do with the ending of this film, even if it is just to finish the story of Han and Qi'ra, because we still got 10 years to go till A New Hope comes by as soon as this movie ends, so there's time to put a Solo movie 2 in there. I just think we deserve this film, and these characters deserve this film, because they end the story as they do. To see a true conclusion and a very hardened Han Solo for us to meet at the beginning of A New Hope when Luke goes and asks for the Falcon. But yeah, the Millennium Falcon and the relationship between Han and Chewie and their meeting and their friendship developing is the best part about this film. Chewie going back to Han instead of going with the Wookiees. And Ron Howard, congratulations for every problem this film had. This film had a very unique single voice that nobody would notice, and the man did a great job. But Solo is ultimately underwhelming at the end of the day. The worst thing about Solo: A Star Wars Story is that nobody really feels passionate about it either way. People just like it, or people just don't like it. There's no love or hate for Han Solo. It will just be floating in the breeze, and that's how it will be remembered. A film that exists, and yeah, I enjoy it, or no, I didn't enjoy it. There's no real passion for it. The best thing about it, however, for me at least, is that yeah, it did give us something new, for better or worse, something different that we hadn't seen before. Explore new things, explore new characters. It did not shrink the universe as I thought it would. We did not have a C-3PO or R2 cameo, and that was surprising. We had one of the best cameos ever, and I can't wait to see what they do with this. Maybe a comic, maybe a book, hopefully another movie, because I think we would like to see a movie with Darth Maul again. Let me know what you thought of Solo: A Star Wars Story and everything I spilled out in this spoilers review, and anything I forgot to spill out in this spoilers review. And thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, my beautiful geekies. And so until the next review, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky. Unite!